to,
Are you telling us that you're leaving us forever? You don't love us anymore?
yes, I'm quitting.
Oh,
No,
that sucks.
no. So it was something I was thinking about because I spent all day yesterday and then I was working on it again this morning, taprooting. And so I wanted to just talk about that. So I know Caitlin, you saw I was popping into a bunch of your chats. I was doing it in Beverly's chats, a couple of Carrie's chats. So I was just kind of all over the place sending, and I just wanted to talk about that a little bit and the importance of it and how we're like, that's going to get us to our goals, right? By creating silvers, having people add one. I know we've talked about it before, but I wanted to touch on it because I feel like even for me, it's so new. It's not something that I was always doing before. It's kind of scary. And I get a little bit scared to go into these chats and be like, hey, do you want to add some people? Like, what do you say? And you don't want them to be like, think that you're coming across salesy or that you're just trying to pressure them into doing something. And so I've noticed in being in some of the chats, there's some things that I see could be red flags for people. And I'm not saying I'm the expert, but I've listened to like Emily Gibson and Brooke Hemingway talk about how to do it. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. And I think that rather than me just talking in a voice message or typing it out, it might be helpful for us to all kind of talk about it together.
Well,
So
too, I noticed like from yesterday when we were in some of the conversations, I feel like they take it differently when it's coming from you versus me because I have a different connection with some of those
mhm.
people versus than you do, and they see it differently versus when it's coming from me. They're like,
Ooh,
"Oh, okay," you
yeah.
know.
Or I even had somebody that I forget whose person it was. It might have been I don't know. But a couple people were like, "No, I don't remember talking about that." But the person was like, "I know I mentioned it." So I think it's like even if you're mentioning it to them when you're signing them up, you're getting on the phone, you're talking about it, they're like, "Oh, why do I need to put my social in?" Oh, well that's because you have, the referral program whatever, and we go into all of that. But they're not remembering everything that we're saying. So even though we're mentioning it to them on the phone, there's a lot. We're throwing them into these Facebook pages, we're sending them getting started guides, we're starting a three-way chat. They're not going to remember everything. It's overwhelming, it's a lot, and so we have to remember to always go back and revisit it again. So I had
Too.
a couple people that said, oh, I think we might have talked about it, I don't know. I mean, and then you had two people that were like, yeah, I'll post about it.
Yeah, and I was totally not expecting that because neither one of them we had talked about it prior, but they were just like, "Oh, I don't know." And
Right.
you
And
and you
maybe
brought
at
it
first
up,
they're
and I'm
like,
like, "Okay."
I'm just now buying these. Why are you talking to me about sharing them? I don't want to share them with anybody because I don't even know what they are. But then
Yeah.
once they're taking them I mean, look at Blake, Grace. You had Blake come out of nowhere. He's like, oh my God, I love this stuff. I need to share with everybody. But they're not all going to come to us and say, hold up. Or Chelsea, now Chelsea under Karina, like she wants to share with the world, but they're not all going to do that. Some people are just going to, I've got people that, I mean, this one girl, she's been ordering for over a year consistently every friggin' month. I message her, I reach out to her. I'm like, dude, you've got to have this amazing testimony. She never responds. She doesn't open my messages. I text her the other day because her card declined finally. I'm like, no, she's been ordering for over a year. Like she probably just has a new card. I haven't been able to get her to update it because she doesn't open the freaking messages. So then today I'm like texting her again. You want to send me your card? I'll fix it for you. But it's like some people, they just don't, I don't know, whatever it is. So they're not all going to think about it and come to us. So we have to be constantly reminding them you know, that they can make money. And so I think it's important though. So I think that there's a line between talking to somebody about the business or talking to them about it being a referral program. And so I think that it's always important, and I could be wrong and you might know a person better. Like you might know your best friend, oh, she totally wants to do this business with me. So you're going to go all in talking about the business. But for the most part, we need to be talking to people about it being a referral program, your buddy bonus, or whatever. There's different terms, whatever you want to call it. And so I like the way that Brooke and Emily do it, and they talk about spoon feeding. So I've noticed, and I've done it too, and I want to try to get in this practice of not saying, hey, do you want to add 3 people? Like, no, 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 no. Because then they're like, I don't know 3 people. People panic, or, it's like these trigger words, these, words that can just make them kind of run the other way. So that's what I wanted to talk about. And so you've probably seen, like I've come in, Caitlin, into yours. Taylor will be doing it, or Karina, or whatever. Taylor, I guess, will be doing it with you, Grace, until Karina kind of gets comfortable. Taylor has double duty. But just being confident is the number one thing that I want to talk about, being confident, because I've seen some people, they'll say, I don't want to pressure you. Like, we can't come in like this delicate little mouse and say, hey, so do you think you'd like to share? No pressure. Because then they're like, I don't know. You have to be confident. Like, they've got to feel, even if you're not, fake it. Okay. Go in. Hey, we have this amazing referral program. Oh my God, we haven't even talked about this. Like, if you just share this with one friend, who's your ride or die? Who's your best friend? Who's the person that does everything for you? And we have to give them examples of, like, who can you think of that has an autoimmune disease? Maybe they suffer with migraines. Maybe they have diabetes. Maybe they're just a tired mom who could use some energy. Like, we all know people that need gut health. And so what I've been trying to do when I am talking and saying it is also throw statistics out. 70% of your immune system lives in your gut, because I think a lot of people, especially if they've signed up for weight loss, they think this is just weight loss. They don't realize how much these products help with. It's everything. Everybody needs them. There's not one person that doesn't need them. So, I tell them 70% of your immune system lives in your gut. 90% of your serotonin is produced in your gut. The statistics show that people that add an accountability partner are 86% more likely to be successful with their products and have results. Plexus does this because they truly believe that you need 60 to 90 days on your products to see the full effects of the products and, to benefit from them. So basically, when you add 3 people, you're covering your products for 3 months. So that's why they do this. So it's got to be very, like, this is for you, not like, hey, do you want to add 3 people? No. So I just kind of want to, like, I listed out a couple things, like, don't say things like I said earlier, no pressure, or can you? Who can you think of? Like, don't give them the option to, like, say no. Don't just say, hey, would you like to think of a couple people and get back to me? Like,
You
am I
just
making
hit
sense?
me like spot on. That is me. I'm like, I don't want to pressure you. Whatever you
Right.
want to do, think about it.
But we can't do that. And you know what? I've done it too, Grace. Like, it's taken me a long time and a lot of, like, listening to these other people repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. And I'm like, oh my God, right. Like, I have to say it like that. Even if you've got to practice in the mirror, or message me, Grace, and be like, hey, I want to talk to you about a referral program. Like, we can, like, I don't know. What do you call that when you role play? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we have to learn.
I'm going to do that with my sister.
I'm
going to be like, look, we're practicing. Let's go.
Yeah. Because we have to learn to be confident even when we're not. You know what I mean? Sweat those tacos, like Christy Jack says. We all have butt crack. Did you watch her video from yesterday? We're all human and we all have a butt crack, and we're all nervous and scared to do things. We're all the same. Don't let your fear and this voice that's in your head tell you that you can't do that, or that this person isn't going to want to do it. They don't want to hear it. So they're going to hear it. And if they really don't want to hear it, then that's fine. Like, at least you've done your part. Like, we can't red light story anybody, because we don't know. And being confident in telling them, like, somebody, you just do. And if they don't want to post it on Facebook or whatever, that's fine. Who can you text or call on the phone and say, hey, Sally, I'm starting these products and I know that you've been struggling with your energy lately, or I know that, you've got knee problems and whatever, do you want to try them with me? So, that was pretty much it. I mean, if you guys want to, like, touch on something else, if you have questions or whatever, I don't know.
For me personally, because I was kind of bad at it, but now, like, the past 3 people that I've signed up, I've put them in a 3-way chat immediately when I get off the phone with them. Yeah, and I feel like that's a difference. There's a difference there when you do it right away versus waiting for them to, like, either get their products or you have, like, a forgetful memory like me. But no, I see a huge difference in that.
Yeah, you just make it part of the process,
Yeah.
Like, right, in the excitement, like Jenny's saying, like, it's like, oh my God, we just got off the phone. You're so excited. Let's go get you in the Facebook group. Here's your chat,
Yeah.
and it just goes from there. And then that's where we need to be doing, because I don't either people aren't doing follow-up or they're not doing it in the three-way chat with me. So I don't know
Yeah.
which one it is. And I'm not saying like you or anybody specifically, but I should be blowing up at least once a week in all my three-way chats with follow-ups, at least for the first month. You know what I mean? And so we need to be, and I know I'm bad too. I forget sometimes. I'm like, oh crap, I haven't reached out to this person. It's been 2 weeks, So we have to like really be good at that, because that's going to help with our retention. Where you get retention credits for the success sprints. We all want retention, right? And statistically, they are more likely to stick around after 60 to 90 days, so.
And to like what I've been doing, because like I was telling Jenny and you yesterday, that all the people I've signed up so far have been over the phone. And at the end of the call, I say, look, I'm going to get you in a three-way chat with my friend who started with me with Plexus. And she's just going to be there for like support or advice, whatever we need. And I feel like that's super helpful. And they're like, oh, okay, that's awesome. And they're like super pumped about it. So I feel like that's, yeah.
And most people don't mind. I mean, because we want to convey to them that this, like I always tell them, I've said to the last 2 people I signed up over the phone, like last week, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be your new best friend for the next 4 weeks, or I'm like, I'm your new BFF. I'm going to be bugging you every week to check in. You can make it whatever, like just be yourself. Like you don't have to have all the answers, even like with the referral program, with signing them up, with whatever it is, we don't have to have all the answers. And if you make light of it, I think they appreciate that even more, because they're like, oh, she's not trying to like be a know-it-all and tell me everything or whatever. So yeah, I just have fun with them on the phone, and you're mentioning different things, you get to talking, and there's such a connection when you're signing them up over the phone. I still get nervous every time. I'm like, okay,
right?
This girl wants me to call her.
It's so the truth though. You're like, oh my God. Can I do this?
Why? My sister said to me yesterday, we were talking about, because we're looking for like a camper and a campground. And I was like, I'm scared to just pick a neighborhood where I don't know anybody. And she went, what? You have no problem making friends. You talk to everybody. And I'm like, no, that makes me nervous. Like having to go somewhere where I don't know anybody. And she's like, no, but you talk to everybody. Like, what are you talking? My sister was like dead. She's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. She's like, me on the other hand, my anxiety would be through the roof. I couldn't even do it. And I'm like, whatever. Like, and so we all, even though I seem like this really talkative, big mouth person, I used to be super shy and never talk to anybody. So it's taken me a lot. Get here. And I will say, I think that Plexus has helped with that. Like doing this business has definitely helped me have more confidence, do scary things. And I want you guys to all be able to do that. Taylor.
When I'm you the biggest introvert.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I remember when Vicky had us do that challenge for the 50 messages, I was terrified, but I just did it. Like I literally just hit the send button. I was like, okay, I'm done. I did it.
Yeah. Well, right. And I got really, Taylor has grown a lot. Okay. Yeah. You did do some. I've gotten like really in my head too. I mean, we all do. And another thing that Christy was talking about yesterday that really resonated with me, is that so you know how like we always say, oh, good vibes only, or we can't get all in our heads and it's all about mindset. Yes, it is all about mindset, but it is okay to have those moments where we're like, oh my God, I suck. Nobody wants to talk to me. Nobody's signing up with me. What am I going to do? I suck at this. I can't do this. But the important thing is then how do you handle that? What do you do with that? Like you can't stay there. You have to, what did she call it? I took notes. It's all about focus. Hold on, I wrote something down. Focusing on what you have or lack. You can't keep focusing on what you lack. We all lack things, but what do you have? What's a strength of yours? That's what you need to focus on. And so when you're feeling all crappy and whatever, feel that's okay. But then you got to move on. You got to figure out, you have to act on it. You got to figure out, be intentional about the state that you're in. So
yeah, last night with my like Facebook party thing that Taylor set up and everything, it was like amazing. I was so excited for it. And 2 people
But that's 2 people.
accepted the invite, and then they didn't do anything. Like there was no comments, there was nothing. Like I don't even know if they watched it. I literally cried.
Yeah.
But you got your face out there, and that's the best part.
Like I'm talking to my husband. He's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm literally crying to him. I'm like, "No one's on this page."
But that's 2 people.
I was
you
like
have to
sobbing.
show up. Bob Heilig says it all the time. Even if it's only one person, you still show up.
Yeah, and I was
So
like,
peaceful.
I was seriously sobbing.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then I'm looking at like Karina's page and she's got like 9 people on there. And I'm like, how did you get 9 people? I only had 2. And I'm
yeah, but you know
like,
what?
well, what are you gonna do? And I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna post something. I'm gonna post my testimony.
Yeah.
I had my med appointment
on
for my depression meds today, and I lowered my dose.
That's awesome.
187.5 to 150. And she's like, make your post. You lowered your medicine.
Because that's something to share with people. You know how many people out there are suffering with like depression and stuff. I mean, so yeah, like that's huge, Grace, that you're lowering your medication, like huge. So you're going to have this amazing testimony and you're going to help so many people. And those 2 people might be 2 people that you get to help.
Yeah. And
yeah, one of them is a researcher that I've been talking to for like since I basically started. She's one of the first people that was like, oh, I'm interested, and like messaged me and just hasn't jumped on. And the other one is someone I haven't even talked to in years. And I actually feel bad because I kind of sort of in my hoe days I was like kind of interested, but like not really. And then like I found out later that he like loved me.
Oh, geez.
And I like moved on
from afar, but I want you to start these products with me too. So.
And he was like one of my really good friends, but like he wasn't like my type. So then he saw me kind of like bounce to like my actual type, which is I like my coffee light, but my men dark. Except for my hubby. And then I get with my hubby.
Right?
And then I get with my hubby, and they're very similar in like look. And I'm like, now I feel bad because then I found out that he like loved me.
He's one person that you still have in your funnel. So
well, and 2, just remember to keep.
Where'd she go? You muted.
But I posted about on my personal page like last week, you know, who wants to try my pink drink, or 3 friends who want to try my pink drink. I've had it up there for like a week, and I'm just now starting to get people to comment on it.
Oh,
and it's working. And you know, I'm like, oh, okay. And you just have to keep putting yourself out there. You just have to keep posting. People will see it. And
being yourself is huge.
Yeah, I just took the perfect let's be real picture, and I'm gonna grab another one because I'm like I can't I keep trying to get the angles right, and I'm like, let's get the right angle to look skinny, and I'm like, that's not what this post is.
Like, just be yourself.
One, it doesn't work right now because I'm not skinny, and 2, it's not, I'm trying to be a real post, not look, I'm skinny now, but I'm not.
Yeah, it's just keeping it real. What was I going to say? I think that was it.
You know, Vicky, I actually forgot to tell you yesterday, it was one of the girls that I signed up yesterday. Her cousin has been doing this for 5 years. She signed up with,
the business or just the products?
The business. And so she had told me, she goes, I didn't want to sign up with her because she's too pushy.
Wow. And then she signed up with you. Oh, her cousin gonna be PO.
Oh, yes.
Was she in the sense of what, just taking the products or wanting her to do the business? Because I talked about the referral program.
I think just the products, but she was like super pushy about it. And so she's like, I don't want to. Like, so when she told me that yesterday, I literally died. I was like, wow.
And you know, that's something too, like being intentional is one of the things like I have written down here. And it's something that I've really been working on because I sucked. I did not do this for the first year plus. I mean, I've been doing the business, 1.5 years. And over a year of that time, I didn't care about anybody. Not that I didn't care, but I didn't show them that I cared. Like I didn't talk to them other than Plexus. And so I've been trying to be very intentional with someone that no, I didn't end up signing her up yet. She's now waiting. Either way, her mom was like in the hospital or whatever. So I'm like checking in with her. How's your mom? Is everything okay? I don't know this woman. She's just somebody on Instagram that wanted information. You know, and so we just kind of were talking back and forth that way. She hasn't signed up yet because she decided to wait because of some financial issues and no, she ain't interested in the business, whatever. But we have to be intentional about the way that we're talking to people too. Like I tend to, if they blow me off or they're like me, you know, I'm like, oh, I don't even want to talk to them anymore. But we have to get over that, get over ourselves. It's not just about us, and still keep loving on them and talking to them. And, you know, eventually when it's their time, they'll come around. So just keeping that in mind, like not just copy pasting messages all the time. I used to do that all the time. Like, oh, we got a sale. Oh, I'm going to send this picture and this little blurb to everybody. And they're like, okay, what does that even mean? You know, like, oh, you only care about me to order your products. And so there's just so much more to it. And so that's important too. But yeah, so about the whole, my dog just licked my toe. About the whole thing. So gross. Oh, I gotta pick my feet up.
At least it's not a kid.
That's weird.
My daughter tried to suck on my toe. I was like, can you not put your mouth near my foot, please?
All right, so back to referral program. So let's get back to focus, but I did want to share those little tidbits from Christy yesterday. Does anybody have any questions? Do you feel like you could be a little more confident in like just going in and being like spoon feeding, basically? Maybe I should touch on that a little bit more. And did you know, I didn't know this, maybe Jenny knows this, that Christy is under Brooke Hemingway? And she is a double diamond. Oh, I think she said Brooke yesterday, but either way, she just said they're her uplines. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, and how, like, she still has doubts. Like, we all have doubts. And so that was kind of the point, like, that she was making too, like mindset and having to work on it. But okay, so role play. Oh God. So yeah, recap would be being confident, going in, saying, and it can be either like you're talking to them when you're talking to them on the phone, signing them up, you're going to mention it. And then I'm supposed to come in and mention it, or whoever your sponsor is going to come in and mention it in your three-way chat. Carrie did an amazing image that I totally stole and was using it yesterday. And so you can do that, you know, just send a little blurb or whatever, and the image. And then, I don't know, I'm trying to like, I get off topic. Hi, boy. So yeah, like, hey, you know, Sally, so nice to meet you. I'm super excited for you to get started on these products. And then I would kind of go into maybe, I mean, I don't know, I did something different yesterday, so now I'm lying, but if they are like, oh yeah, what's the referral program? And then I just kind of went in, I voice message. Voice messaging is huge.
He wants to feel a part of the conversation. I totally get it.
You want to role play, Mace?
What is that?
Hi, Mason. I'm so excited for you to get started on Plexus. No, actually, he makes fun of me all the time. He's like, hi, guys. Do you want to try Plexus? That's what he says I sound like.
Baby, you want to say hi too?
Hi. So basically just saying to them, like, who's your best friend? Who's your ride or die? Who's the one person in your life that does everything with you? Let's get them to try it with you. It's just kind of like saying it in that way of not asking them, but telling them, like, who's your best friend? Let's get her to try it with you. Oh my gosh, she can get the same deal you just got. You know, like maybe you gave them, maybe they got a $30 rebate because we're doing, you know, rebates that day or whatever it is. She can get the same price you just got. I've said that to people before because I don't always think about it, and I don't think that we all think about it. Like, just because they're not in our chat or they're not doing the business with us doesn't mean they can't take advantage of everything that we're doing. So it's important to let them know that if they just signed up for $69 because we're doing some stupid rebate, you know, stupid, crazy, cheap rebate, say to them, they can get the same deal you just got, you know? I think that's it. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to just totally repeat everything, but Does anybody?
No, you're not repeating. I like it. So for me, like I was telling you, some of the people that I talk to that I know really well, and I'm like, I have this different relationship with them. Having you come in and talk to them, I feel like it's different because they see it different, because sometimes I can be a lot more gentle with people and I would be like that. So, and it's because I have such a different relationship. So
you're all yellows.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but yellows tend to be a little bit more, they don't want to, they're like,
Yeah, I don't want to push people. I'm not a pusher. So that's where I'm like, I need Vicky to come in because you help me in my, I guess my weaknesses, my flaws where I'm not so strong in. I'm like, Vicky can come in and help me because I'm terrible at this.
But see that, but we all have those. Like I've got my weaknesses and my, I rely on Jenny a lot of times. It's like I get nervous still in my own chats. I don't have her in all of mine. But sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't really know how to answer that, and I'll wait. I'm like, oh, maybe Jenny will answer. I mean, that's what I'm here for, though. I'm happy to do that for you guys because that's what I'm here for. And I don't know why, but there's something about having a little bit more confidence to come into your chats versus my own. So I have the same thing where I feel like I don't want to push the people that I've signed up or that I've been working with. But if Jenny comes in and pushes them, it's okay. I don't know why that is.
It's the same. And I feel like, if I went into your chats and was to talk to someone, it's different because we don't have that personal connection with them. And we're just like, okay, let's just throw it all out there on the table, versus when you have a connection with someone, you're like, oh, I don't want to piss you off. I don't want to make you mad and make you be like, oh, I'm canceling this.
Well, Forget you told me there was somebody the other day and you messaged me separate and you're like, tread lightly with her. And I'm like, I'm gonna treat her just like everybody else. And it wasn't that I was being mean or anything like that. But like, I'm not going to go in and be like, hi. No, just because she's mean to me. If she's mean to me, that's okay. I'm still going to sleep tonight. That it's fine. I'm doing my job and letting her know that there is money on the table for her. Whether she takes it or not is up to her.
Yeah.
And so we all need to kind of have that mentality of, I'm doing you a favor. I'm trying to help you,
Exactly.
And we need to make it about them. Oh, we're running out of time. No, I ain't upgrading nothing. I feel like
I feel like it's different when someone else comes in, especially for me, because I feel like then if they message me privately, like, oh my gosh, like that Vicky. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Like I can blame it on like someone else. And like, it's not like me pissing them off. It's someone else.
Well, and I will say we haven't
not like anyone does that, but
we haven't had it happen because it's not like, because I think some people too, they're a little bit afraid to put me or their sponsor, whoever it is, into a chat with their person because they want to kind of protect their people, right? And I get that. So this whole, like the idea behind it is not to have me come in and be bossy or offend people or whatever. It's just to have that extra resource. And that third person that can come in and be like, hi, oh my God, you started with Triplex, so did I. It's like, it's just kind of like making that, it's just another connection for them, another person that they can relate to. And I think that that's super important and it is really helpful. And I've been noticing in the chats that I'm in, the people are talking, they're actually like sharing stuff. And I'm like, this is so weird because I have people I've signed up that don't ever answer me.
Yeah, like I just put Taylor in a chat with this girl who this is now the third time she's ghosted me. Mm-hmm. And like I've revived her twice, but I'm like, I don't know what else to pull to like get her to like open my messages and like talk to me.
Yeah.
And I grab Taylor in and she's like, put me in that chat. And I'm like, all right. I put her in and she's like, oh, well, I've done so many weight loss things before. I didn't, I'm hesitant on doing another one. I'm like, I never knew that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
If she had said that to me, I would have answered the same way that Taylor did. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But she never told me that. So I'm like,
yeah,
what? That's why you were ghosting me? Because you were hesitant on the products when you were telling me it was something financial? Like,
I wonder if it's just because they know you and maybe they're afraid to say no. People like, I don't know what it is. People are afraid to say no. And so
I'm like, that's why they say no. I don't care. I have had people who are like, look, that's a hard no.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't. And I'm like, and there are people that I know, like one of my best friends, She's like, no, I'm good. I'm on keto. I feel great. No, I'm good.
Well,
and I'm like,
ain't getting your
okay.
gut healthy.
But like, she knows that I'm not gonna like message her every week.
Well, right.
And try it. But if you don't answer, I'm gonna keep messaging you stuff because I don't know where you stand. Like, yeah, I talked to her about it outside of, you know.
Well, of course. And maybe someday she'll come around, you know, but you don't want to be that annoying friend who is constantly bugging her. So yeah, you don't. But those people that keep ghosting or whatever, it does. Somehow it like revives it. Taylor had a couple people last week, I think it was, and then they asked she put them in a chat with me, and then they were like, yeah, can we get a sample? Okay. I mean, now they're ghosting her again, but we got them to
now she hasn't responded to either of us. So I'm like, okay, let's see. Next we'll add Karina. Like,
right. And you know, and that's going to happen. And that's all we can do is just keep trying to help these people, keep having the relationship. So even the girl that's now ghosting you and Taylor, it's up to you and Taylor to go in there. Happy Friday. Do you have any fun plans for the weekend? I don't know.
I was going to do that literally right after we got all this Zoom.
Just talk to her as a person. She may not answer that either. I get it all the time, but I'm frozen.
You're good. You're not frozen.
So yeah, it's just kind of like, it's this constant.
You're not frozen for me. You're fine.
All right. It's just Taylor. So it's this constant dance, this constant game of back and forth and keeping the relationships and finding new people, getting in more chats, you know. Yeah. Just like that.
Yes.
So
like that.
But yeah, no, I think that, I mean, we've been killing you guys, not we, you guys have all been killing it. Like this week, especially, I don't even know what's happening. It's like,
I don't know either, but I got 3 more people I'm talking to today. My head hurts, but I'm ready.
I got like 5 people. I have 3 of my own to message and check in with. Hey, what you guys up to?
Mm-hmm.
Got any fun plans? If they respond, maybe they will, maybe they won't.
Right. And then your follow-ups.
Get it to flexes.
The people that are taking the products, following up with them, seeing how they're doing.
I got follow-ups to do with people already taking it. I got Blake's people I'm in chats with.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just keep it going.
Blake is on fire.
Well, good. Let's get him some people.
I can't believe it. I'm in 3 or 4 other chats of people of his that are interested.
Okay.
And I'm like, what?
Well, let's get him. Let's go.
You smell that? I smell senior silver for him.
I do. And I'm like, you got this. And just like what we were talking about in our chat, like getting Lindsay's mom to put her sub back on.
Yes.
Like that will be his 3rd person.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just needs a few more and he's senior silver. Like he can totally do it. And he is ready. Like he's told me so many times, I'm ready. I love this. I'm ready to shout it off the mountains. Like I'm like, let's go.
Well, so for like the new people like Chelsea, Blake, we just need to be working with them very closely and helping them and teaching them all the things to do. So maybe I need to start doing Zooms every week. I don't know. Like I'm open to whatever, but I know that I need to do more
But you're doing a lot, but you don't also want to put yourself out there to do a Zoom every week and not wasting your time. You want everyone to show up and be there.
Oh, well, yeah, I need people to show up, but
yeah.
You know, but anyway, I just wanted to talk about that mainly today because taprooting is what's going to get us to be an emerald team. Like that's how it's going to happen. And I can, so I want to help you guys to feel confident in doing that. And so I hope that this was helpful. We're down to like 3 minutes, but
all I gotta say is this is kind of reminiscent of when we did our accidental Facebook call. Just saying.
Same people.
Same people.
All right. Well, I recorded this
every Zoom.
What's that?
I can be to every Zoom.
I know. I love it. I know some people are napping. It. It was last minute, whatever. And some people have day jobs. I totally get it. It's totally fine. But they can watch this back and hopefully it's helpful. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys in just watching those red flag words, go in there with confidence. Don't be scared because if they ignore you or they don't want to do it, that's okay. At least you tried. And then you know what? You bring it up again in a couple weeks or a month or whatever it is. you know, maybe when they've got this amazing testimony, hey, remember when we talked about how you could share these products? Do you want to do that now? You know, so we just always have to be, why are you raising your hand?
I wanted to say, so back to like being nervous and stuff. So yesterday when I was preparing for Grace's party, I put some music on, I did my makeup, I started dancing, I did all the things, I had some wine, and then I was fine. I had to sweat out the sweaty tacos, I had to dismiss the bubble guts and just do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Taylor, you've been doing really awesome too. You just do it. I'm going to get you a shirt that says sweaty tacos.
And bubble guts.
Yes, and bubble guts.
The point is that we can all do this. Okay.
Yeah.
You all have it in you. You have what it takes. You just have to recognize it and see it and use it. So
I agree.
Yeah.
We got this, and we have Vicky and Jenny. So we can do this.
All right, guys. Well, it's going to cut us off. So let's go get into those chats and get some people posting and sharing and adding one.
We got this.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.